Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to take you through my core routine. You don't need any equipment for this workout, but you can use bands and an exercise ball just to add that extra challenge. So to kick things off, the first exercise we will do on this list is a dead bug. And we're going to do 20 reps all together. So you can do this exercise without the ball, but if you're doing it with the ball, it adds that extra challenge because what you want to focus on is squeezing the ball with your opposite arm and opposite knee together, and it just engages your hip flexors and your core a bit more. You want to focus on in the movement straightening out your opposite arm and your opposite leg at the same time. And this exercise is a great exercise for your hip flexors and your abdominal muscles. The next exercise on the list is the reverse of what we just did. So this is going to be the reverse dead bug. So this time you're on all fours. And this exercise helps target your glutes and lower back a bit more. And again, we are going to do 20 of these, so 10 each side. The next exercise we are going to do are some fire hydrants. So you can do this with a band or without a band. The band just adds that extra challenge. And this time we are going to do 10 each side, so 20 in total. You want to try and maintain a strong and stable position here on all fours and try and make your leg do as much of the movement as possible. So all the movement is centralized around the hips. And you'll notice that with my core routine, it doesn't just involve ab exercises. You want to do exercises that target your whole core, so that's your abdominals, your obliques, your glutes, your hip flexors, your lower back, etc. As you want to target all those muscles that make up your core to become a stronger, faster athlete and runner. You'll also notice that there are no rest periods in this workout, so I try and do complementary exercises and kind of supersets, and this is very good for those people who are on time efficient schedules. The next exercise will involve some leg raises, so we are going to do 10 of these, and these are going to be straight leg or as straight leg as possible. Once we have done this exercise, we're going to go straight into the next core exercise. And this will give your abs an extra challenge. The next core exercise involves some leg spreadies. We're going to do 20 reps with no crossover and then 20 reps with crossover. Now, as Aussie Man Reviews would say, he would call this exercise
spready to the gods.
And this is actually a great core exercise, especially for us runners. So it not only targets your abdominal muscles, it also targets your obliques, as well as also your groins, because we tend to have a very tight groin as runners due to running mainly in the forwards direction and not much side to side movement. The next core exercise we will do is glute bridges. So you want to do 20 reps of these. So you can do just on two legs if you want to, but if you want more of a challenge, you can do single leg as I am doing now. Again, depends entirely up to you which you want to do, but if you want it easier, use two legs. If you want it harder, do 10 on just single leg each side. The next core exercise we will do is crunches. We're going to do 20 reps of these. This is a very classic core exercise, and this in particular helps target your upper abdominal muscles. The next exercise will involve what I call some worm shuffles. So this will be you lay on your back, bring your heels up, and your knees up, and you're just going to try and touch your heels with your hands by rotating your upper body. And this exercise in particular is quite a nice exercise and quite a fun one to do, and this one helps target your obliques. The next exercise will involve some side lying plank leg raises. I'm going to do for 10 each side, and you want to hold at the top for about 1 to 2 seconds. This adds just a bit of an extra challenge to the exercise. So this exercise is a very good exercise that targets your glute medius, which is a very key stabilization muscle that can help prevent a severe hip drop when you run. So it's very important to stabilize or strengthen this muscle. And for a lot of runners in particular, this glute medius muscle is quite often neglected, so it's very important to pay attention and strengthen this muscle. The next exercise will involve what I call plank drops. So this is where you go from a press up starting position to a plank position, and you're going to do this 20 times. This exercise is very good for strengthening up those stabilization muscles in our core and our shoulders, and that can help us improve our posture when we just move around, and in particular when we run. The next exercise we will do are some mountain climbers. So we're going to do 25 each leg, so 50 altogether. This exercise is good just to help get that knee drive going and that cadence up for when we are running. Again, it's also a good core stabilization exercise and a good one for your shoulders. So the next exercise we are going to do is going to be kind of a cross between a sit-up and a V-up. And again, if you're just starting out, I would suggest doing this without the ball, as I'm about to demonstrate, as this exercise can be a very challenging exercise even with the ball for me. And for me personally, this is definitely the hardest core exercise that I've done and is in this routine. If you feel confident enough to try this with the exercise ball, so you want to be passing it in between your feet and your hands, you want to start off in a flat, have a flat back position to start with, so you don't want to kind of do a sit-up. Get used to this movement, and then once you feel comfortable doing this movement, you can then progress on to doing this with the sit-up as I am demonstrating now. And this one's definitely a very challenging exercise for your core. So the next exercise we are going to do is 10 times fish out of water, which is as I am demonstrating now. Then once we've done that, we're going to stick our arms above our head and we're going to do 10 times Superman. So there's just the only difference between these exercises is where your arms are, whether they're down by your side or above your head. Now the Supermans are slightly harder than the fish out of water, but this one just definitely is a good one for your glutes and lower back. So the next exercise we are going to do is going to be some straight leg rotations. So you can do this without the ball or with the ball, it's entirely up to you. With the ball, it's harder, so you're going to want to rotate your legs as you keep them straight as possible. You want to keep them at a kind of a 90-degree angle to your body, and you're just going to rotate from side to side for 6 times each side. And last but not least, the final exercise on the list is some scorpions. So you're going to want to do 6 each side, and you want to focus on extending your leg behind you as far as you can. So that's it for my core work. So I would repeat all these exercises again. So this is 1 set. I would do these exercises again in 2 sets. Normally this would take about 20-25 minutes to do. So I definitely think it's a great thing to do for athletes and runners or all kinds of abilities.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Edward Buck, greatest runner alive.